Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Vernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are welcome in the essence. This broadcast, Brownstone, the light is contagious. But you need go on and receive it for yourself. Just open it, exuberant, evolution, excited. We standing on the foundation of expression. You might have seen, you might have been, or you could have gravitated. Our foundation, we want to create a space for all to collaborate and be liberated from eventually all over the globe. And we are extending a hand to those who are an extension from maybe platforms, dig into another stratosphere. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Vernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. And that is MSG, the message in the message. I can OD on my execution of excellency. And this as a man right now, when things aren't created, but see true.
Welcome everybody to the day shift. Once again, it is Monday, May 12th, 2025. Let me go ahead and say it like I say when I do just the regular news. This is the Brownstone Center News Update for Monday, May 12th, 2025. Y'all, it is the second week of May. Hey, Cutter, how are you? Good to see you. Come on in this room. Come on in the room. So much to talk about. So let's talk about a couple of things that we discussed. First of all, happy belated Mother's Day for all of the folks who celebrated Mother's Day. I did not. My children did. Okay? Let me tell you why. Real quick. So yesterday, hey, Posey Schmosey, how are you? Come on in. It's been a while. So yesterday, day before, I took my son, who was getting ready to graduate from high school, to go shopping. I gave him a budget, $200. I said, son, go get an outfit for graduation. Now, I thought that he was going to be like his mother, and he was going to be as frugal as possible. So we went to this place here called Tanger Outlet by the house. And so Tanger Outlet has like all of the stores, you know, they're on the outside. I prefer inside, and it was raining all day Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It rained, and the sun is just now coming out. And I'm understanding it's supposed to rain for the next 3 days, which is unheard of in this part of the country. As far as I'm concerned, baby, we should already be sweltering in heat. Y'all know in the South, in Georgia, baby, it gets to be about 102, sometimes 104 without a problem around this time of year. Oh no! It was 58 degrees Saturday, and my feelings were hurt. So, went shopping. My son bought 2 pairs of pants. Yes, I'm getting ready to tell his business. Tell me why them pants was $107. $107. I need a cup of coffee with that. Now, mind you, hey, mama, ma'am, I hope I said that right. Mind you, listen. I gave him the money. I said, here you go. Right, that's what I said. He is so thin. And my son has like a size 28 waist. He's very thin, very muscular. And I thought, why are your pants so high? No, kind of, they weren't. These were literally from American Eagle. I don't call those. I think it was a store brand. It was American Eagle. And I thought, And here's the truth. The true story is those were the cheapest ones we could find. One were a pair of shorts and the other were just a pair of jeans. Both the same color. Wait a minute. And they had rips in them. So now his older sister, who, by the way, went to, it was American. What is it? American Eagle? Is that a brand? I thought it was just a store brand. Well, by the time we got done, well, I ended up buying Nikes. And he was like, Mother, you should get these right here. No, I'm going to the clearance rack where the clearance rack says, put an additional 40% on these. He was like, oh, those are ugly. I said, I don't care about ugly. Are they functional? Are they doing what they're supposed to do? Which is what? Keep me comfortable, because it had gotten to the point now where I was wearing just like, knockoff Chucks. They're not supportive of the foot. And the older that I get, I can't do a bunch of standing, especially when I'm speaking and so forth. So I was like, hey, Lucy, come on in. So I said, no, we're just gonna get these. So I paid $38 after my discounts and my coupons at the Nike outlet store. $107. Well, anyway, so fast forward to the next day. I woke up and I had this horrible pain all through my arm, all the way up to my neck, all day long. So I come downstairs. My son has bought me gifts. My other daughter, she knows I like chicken wings, fried just so she made me fried chicken wings, and everybody else had chicken soup. Don't ask me why. And then my other daughter got candles, and I had flowers and so forth, and chocolates and so forth. Hey, honey, good to see you. So I came downstairs for a little while, and I said, no, I think I need to go and take a hot bath. Maybe that'll make me feel better. It didn't. So now, mind you, no matter where I am, my children are calling. So my oldest daughter is calling. She was like, Mom, you okay? I was like, no, I'm really not feeling my best. I'm about to get in this tub. So I'm in the tub. She's called my other daughter. And she was like, you need to go check on your mama. I need you to go take her to aspirin and you need to see if she's okay. She could be having a heart attack. And I thought, you all are doing way too much. So my daughter comes and knocks on the door. I let her in, and I tell her, come on in, because the door is unlocked. And she comes in, y'all. She has, this is so funny. She has like all of her herbs, and honey, before she was done, she had made me into soup. She had poured all of the spices and herbs and all kinds of things. She was like, here, you need to put this on your arm and get some camphor, 100% pure camphor. She's a soap maker. So she's got all of these things. And she's like, just soap, just don't move. And I'll come back and I'll check on you and so forth. Listen, she made me into a bowl of soup. Okay. I didn't know if she was getting ready to put some carrots in there. What was it? Potatoes? I wasn't sure. And when I woke up, it was 5:30. My alarm was going off. 5:30 in the morning. I was hurting that bad. And I didn't realize it. And I thought, oh my God, I can't, Yes, she doctored me. She learned well. Okay. I was like, Lord have mercy. I mean, she was just shaking, just all of the herbs, all the spices. I thought, and I made a joke about it this morning. But I'm grateful that they checked on me. I'm glad, because it could have been worse. Honey, I felt like I was getting ready to be basted for Kentucky Fried Chicken, as much herbs and spices as she put in that water. But it did make me feel better. The camphor, she rubbed it on my neck and on my back, on that side that was hurting really bad. And I'm still a little sore. And how come no one told me when you get to a certain age that if you move wrong, you'll hurt for the next 4 or 5 days? No one told me that. See, that's what it is. Oh, I was cooked. Craig says, talk about being cooked. I was cooked. I was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. But I did feel better. And, it's good when your children come and check on you, because, yeah. Did they change how the hearts look when we're tapping? Anyone know about that? Sorry, Randall. No, well, it looks like it, doesn't it? It's weird. Because like whenever you guys are tapping, I'm seeing strange little, I don't know, are those pencils? Are they stars? What's happening? They're very random. Thank you, Colofello, for that. Okay, so let's talk about what's happening around. We got to go down this rabbit hole today. Oh yes, we're gonna talk about it. We ready? Sit down. Right. It was throwing you off too, Cheryl. It was. All right. So for those of you all who are new here, I'm Paulette. I'm the owner and founder of Brownstone Worldwide, which houses brownstoneworldwide.com. You can check us out also at Cityscape Radio and also Brownstone Living magazine. If you're new here, which I know that some of you are, go ahead and check out Brownstone Living magazine because Mr. KJ is on the cover. Yeah, the one I was just talking about. He's also a model and he's a UGC creator. So that's how he generates his little revenue or whatever. And it's no longer little. And he's also a videographer for Brownstone Worldwide. So we cut commercials and do all the things. And I'm going to tell you now, if you start seeing me running around here doing commercials and stuff, mind your business. I'm telling you now, just mind your business. Be like, okay. Just go ahead and just scroll. Because I've been asked and offered to do some different projects, and I've said yes to it because, I believe this app is penniless. Really? Yeah, no, it's not just you. Okay. Let's get into it, shall we? I didn't want to talk about it, but I think that it's important for us to talk about what's happening and how it is impacting. It is. It is. Sit down. This comes from the BBC. Yeah, let's go. The first group of 49 white South Africans to be granted refugee status by the U.S. is due to arrive in Dulles today. They left yesterday. Okay, they had all of their stuff. And first of all, pause. Please understand. Cutter said, yes, Cutter. Right. Now, remember, let's back up just a little bit. Remember back in February when right after the inauguration and we understood that his homeboy, Elon Musk, and I knew something like this was going to pop off. Don't ask me how I knew. I just knew. But we're talking about Elon Musk being in there, him being born and raised in South Africa and understanding his history and his family and all of that. This ain't finna go out. Right. Cut it. Ma'am. See, okay. So for those of you all who are going to be listening on Apple Podcasts, Cutter just said from TikTok, this ain't finna go how they think it's finna go. Correct. Now, we're betting on it. Absolutely. Now, here's the thing. Couple things. Number one, Elon Musk, being from South Africa, it didn't surprise me because it was probably one of the things that he requested. Don't think that he didn't have something or some kind of foothold in this decision. Now, at the same time that you are giving refugee status to these people who do not and should not be getting refugee status, okay? You are literally telling people from Haiti, Cuba, and other countries, we're going to revoke your status to the tune of 500,000. I am not sure if you all are aware of that. But that's fact. To the tune of 500,000, you want that to be revoked. Okay? Hold on. Now we are watching this administration with zest and fervor remove people. You said you were going to be getting rid of criminals. You were going to be getting rid of people who had broken the law, those kinds of people. That is not what you're doing. You are doing just the opposite. Y'all picking up anybody y'all feel like it, whether they broke the law or not. Are they breathing? Okay. Are they brown? Sure. Let's go pick them up. They're not one of those people, XYZ. Pick them up anyway. Now we are finding out that none of these people had, which is their right in this country, due process. And we understand what due process is. Can we go up? Can we talk about it? Like the old folks say in the church, huh? Let's talk about due process really quick. So we are clear, because again, we got some new people in the building. The 14th Amendment talks about due process. The due process of law is application by the state of all legal rules. Okay? Y'all know me, I'm gonna pull it up because I don't believe some people due process is also in the Fifth Amendment, folks. Okay, the due process clause. No person, listen closely to those of you all who are not familiar and who might want to come in here and argue and say, oh, well, that doesn't matter because they're illegal. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land of naval forces or in the militia when in actual service in time of war or public danger. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case. Hang on. Hold on. My computer just froze. We don't care. We still gonna find it. Okay. Let's read it annotated. It's not even okay if they're not illegal to be treated that way. Period, point blank. It's about human rights. It's about your civil right living here in the United States. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime, but these are not crimes. These people haven't committed a crime. The one thing that they did was they're here illegally. But it doesn't, none of that matters. It says person. Person. It doesn't say person living here illegally. It doesn't say person who has a green card. It doesn't say a student visa. It doesn't say that. Right? It says no person. Okay? But see, according to that, now I read what you said, Trump Strong. I see you, honey. It's a crime to enter the country. It says no person shall be held to answer for any crime unless they've been charged. That's the due process part that you're missing. They locking folks up. They're taking them in handcuffs. It is. The courts are the only thing that's holding up against the current tyranny. You still missing the point, Troy. And that's okay. We expect that from you. That is expected. Absolutely. Yep. Mm-hmm. But it still says no person. And you got to be able to prove it, which means due process. It guarantees to protect individual rights by limiting the exercise of government power, which is what is happening right now. You missed that part. You can't take away and pull apart the Constitution to let it fit how you feel because you're racist and you're hateful and you're evil and you're mean. You cannot do that. But unfortunately, that's what's currently happening. Period. Because you just hateful? That don't even make sense to me. You better say that, Lucy. Lucy says no one is illegal on stolen land. Well, honey, if that's the case, and here's due process is in the Constitution, and it still doesn't matter what you say, Troy. You can carry on because you're either a bot or you're somebody that is hateful, and you just have no heart at all. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter because the people that were working, that were illegal, that were working and undocumented still paid taxes. You know what their taxes were paying into? Social Security. But I bet you didn't know that. Do your homework, sweetheart. Have a good day. Have a good day. Bye-bye. I told y'all the block is hot over here. My block game's strong. That's the stuff they don't want to tell y'all. Everybody wasn't working under the table. never see a tax return, never see anything and paying into the system. They don't want to tell y'all that. And it still doesn't matter. See, those are the kinds of people that unfortunately are drinking the Kool-Aid. There are still laws in this country. And unfortunately, there are people that have made it their decision to make them fit whatever they want, how they want, and it's wrong as hell. I don't care how you cut that cake. Way too many. And Lucy said they think we're paying them to be here. They're paying to be, and they are. And they absolutely don't get that. Oh, honey, they got black fatigue. Let them tell it. Did y'all hear about that? Oh, hold on. Let's finish talking about that. So let me tell you the reason why I brought all of that up. The reason why I brought all of this up is because everyone that has been removed from this country, according to Trump, there'll be millions of it. Well, baby, then just let it be millions. But you still broke the law. And the hard part and the sad part is you are not being held accountable. You or the people that are sitting with you. Y'all just letting it go on and on and on. Which brings me to this current situation. In the middle of all of it, while you're getting rid of black and brown people in mass out of this country. Because see, all you're looking for is the skin color. You're looking at who looks like indigenous people and you're removing them. You've even tried your best to remove Native Americans from this country. Please help me to understand how y'all did that and you justify it. Help me to understand. In the middle of all of the removing, you said, let's go to South Africa and let's go get all of the white Afrikaners that want to come here and get refugee status because he believes in his head that they've been racially discriminated against. Now, we're talking about the people that benefited for generations against, they benefited for generations from an apartheid regime that treated the indigenous peoples of that land that have every right to be there. You said that they being racially discriminated against because them folks took their land back. It's so blatantly, Ryder Brooks says. It is blatant. They have every right to their land. They took back what was theirs. Like I have said it before, it's like somebody comes in this house and just take up space, get in the bed and tell me to sleep on the floor. Make me feed them and everything off of the hard work and everything that I've done. I have to watch it, Ryder. Ryder says we need to watch The Family on Netflix. I'm writing it down right under Colofellow's name or Hope. Yep. So we can't take the pieces that we want to fit our hatred and our racism. We can't do that. And we have to learn how to stop doing that. And some people will never understand that this is, I say it often, right's right and it don't wrong nobody. It should be a curse to disrespect the ancestors on their stolen land like that. Well, honey, the curse may be coming. So let's talk about that, shall we? So 49 folks have gotten on a chartered plane. Chartered. Whose tax dollars is paying for that? Right. Okay. So we know it's our tax dollars, right? So our tax dollars are literally paying for this chartered plane to take all of these folks with their wrapped up personal and world belongings, and they're relocating them to an undisclosed place, they say. But from what I understood, if you watch the news that I did this morning, you'll see where they didn't even want journalists to be there when these folks left South Africa. So now they're coming to Dallas or Dulles. So they're going to Dulles first, okay? And then they'll be transferred to Texas. You already know they're coming here with no money. You already know they're coming here without anywhere to stay. You already know that they're coming here without food. So guess what they're going to do? What do you think they're going to do? Hey, Patricia. Hey, Kathy. Yep, no press. No journalists were allowed. I don't know about crime rates, but here's what I will say, Lucy. Here's the thing. What we need to also understand is the culture that they're familiar with, that they come from. They, in their minds, believe that they are superior. Period. Point blank, end of story. We sending them to Dallas. Yeah, I said we, because our tax dollars. If nothing else, you ought to be mad at just the fact that your tax dollars are, number one, paying for these people to treat human beings the way that they're treating them and putting them in prison camps. Let's just call it what it is. Then your tax dollars are paying for a luxury ride on, I feel like I just want to say on a 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. I don't know why that came in my head, just Gilligan's Island, just all of a sudden. So they're going to end up in Dulles, and then they're going to end up in Texas. It's only two places you can go, unless, of course, they go to a private land, unless they go to a private airstrip, right? I do too, Ryder Brooke. I know some white South Africans that literally left South Africa because of the racism. I went to college with two of them. Yeah. So they're sending them to Texas. And if they thought, first of all, you're going to send them, you're going to send them one or two places, either Houston or Dallas. Why would you do that with all them black folks there? What? Does anybody hear that? I'm so confused. You're going to send them to Texas. So somebody in enough leadership made a decision to say, yes, come, we'll take them. Yeah. And they'll get housing, and they're going to get a vehicle, I understand, and resources and funds and food and all the things, right? Yeah. Yep. Where they gonna work? Because the first time one of them open their mouth, we already know where they from. And we always gonna look at you side eye. So 49 people decided to uproot their lives. Yes, Nzinga, yeah. And you gonna come over here? Okay. You all are getting ready to officially FAFO. Yes, that part, Angela, girl, I promise you, that's where I was headed. Yes. Why can they do this for foreigners but never American taxpayers? Your guess is as good as mine. I'm just going to stare off stupidly for just a hot minute because I have no words. And I understand that they're not the last. There will be more that will be coming. Black people, to the front. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't move. Do not move. Don't you get in these streets. Don't you cause a ruckus, because we already know they're waiting. Love all of y'all, but yeah. Yes, he did. Yep. Jackie, I wish I knew. But it has everything to do with this particular administration wanting nothing but white folks in this country. That's it. I'm confused. I'm okay. But I wanted to make sure that we share this information with you all because it's important. So relations between South Africa and the US have been tense for months. Hi, Herman. How are you? Yep. Christian nationalism. They're pushing, antagonizing. Absolutely, Patricia. And that's why I'm telling the black folks that's here, don't you dare move. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep sharing information. Keep sharing news. Doing the things that you are doing. Correct. And Zinga, you are right. So relations between South Africa and the U.S. have been tense for months after President Donald Trump said that members of the country's Afrikaner minority were victims of racial discrimination. Well, what about all of those years and years of apartheid? Locking folks up. Madiba spent all of those years in prison. And there was a resistance that grew out of it. And people like me and others in college fighting and divesting, saying the college that I was at needed to divest. Oh, baby, I was out of control. I was out of control. Listen, I know I'm on somebody's list. It has kept me from being a federal employee. How do you say that the minority who acted as the majority, who didn't even want people sitting next to them on the bus that looked different, they're the one? Okay, so this was dismissed by South Africa's Foreign Minister Ronald Lamola, who said on Monday there is no persecution of white Afrikaner South Africans, adding that police reports debunk President Trump's assertion. South Africa says that any allegations of persecution would not meet the threshold required under domestic and international refugee law. I hope nobody's talking about me driving races apart. I'm not the problem. The issue is if these people believe that and they're taking this man's thought process and they're utilizing it and they're coming over here, they're in for a rude awakening. They literally are. And my whole premise in this entire conversation, number one, unfortunately, my tax dollars and your tax dollars have already paid for these people to come here and to be put up well. Okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is that the thing that's going to happen, and it's going to be a rude awakening for these people, is once you are on land and you have gotten set up and you have moved in and done all the things, honey, you on your own. And like I said, I had friends who literally moved, their entire family moved from South Africa because they didn't like the racism and they moved to the US. I know what you sound like. It is very distinct. I'm already be treading water being next to you. Where you gonna word? Unless you don't sound like that. You know how to sound? Okay. Right? So what is that going to do for these people? And from what I'm understanding on a previous post that I did over the weekend, they might be posy schmozy. I don't know. See, that's the thing. Are these people Elon's cronies? I'm not sure. But they took the bait and they on their way. And somewhere, somebody has told them, we got you. Oh, we're going to take care of you. Taxpayers' dollars are going to do it. He is from South Africa. Absolutely. That's how come this didn't surprise me when I saw this. Didn't surprise me at all. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's what he's doing. Okay. The BBC has actually contacted the United Nations Refugee Agency, which confirmed it was not involved in this resettlement scheme. nor was it asked to take part in any of the screenings. Did y'all peep that? These people had to be screened before they got over here. Given the Trump administration's hardline position on refugees, it is notable the process did not involve the UNHCR, showing how much the white Afrikaners have been fast-tracked. Fast-tracked. Now, didn't we just have a conversation about this last week? About how long it takes for people who are in this country to get that status, for people in this country who are begging for asylum to become U.S. citizens. We just had this conversation. We literally did. Like, why does it take so long to become a U.S. citizen? While life is life and the hell out of us. Right? So those are some of the things that we definitely need to think about. They were fast-tracked, period. The U.S. has criticized domestic South African policy, accusing the government of seizing land from white farmers without any compensation, something which the Southern African nation says has not happened. President Trump has also highlighted what he has described as the large-scale killing of farmers in South Africa. What? One of his closest advisors, South African-born Elon Musk, has previously said there was a genocide of white people in South Africa. And accused the government of passing racist ownership laws. You watch the news from the White House live, and he was trying to backpedal, saying it wasn't about that. That's a lie. Nubian Buttercup said that's a lie. Which part? The claims of genocide of white people have been widely discredited. South African court has dismissed claims of white genocide in the country as clearly imagined and not real, undermining comments made by U.S. President Donald Trump and his advisor, Elon Musk. The ruling came as the court blocked a wealthy benefactor's donation to white supremacist group. I'm not even going to try to say that name, but it starts with a B. Right. But the claims were debunked. So I just wanted to kind of share that. All right. So anyway, in March, if y'all remember, in March, South Africa's ambassador to the U.S., Ibrahim Rasool, was expelled after accusing Trump of using white victimhood as a dog whistle, leading to the U.S. accusing Mr. Rasool of race baiting. Tone, you know what? I believe you to some degree. I actually watched a documentary about this. And I forgot the name of it, but I watched it it had to be about maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I saw this documentary on what is currently happening in South Africa. Again, I've never been to South Africa. I do not know. All right. Okay. So then so they wanted their land back. Who wanted their land back? So again, folks, I want to hear and see all sides. What I know is that for generations, Black folks were told that they literally couldn't get their land, get off of this. We're going to take that. You're going to do this. XYZ. It was literally what was happening right here in this US of A. And the indigenous wanted their land back. So I watched how certain people white folks living, the Afrikaners, had started creating like their own communities, and they were living poorly and all of that, right? Nubian Buttercup said, ain't no genocide, maybe some killing here and there, but sorry, it's justified. These people wanted their land back. There was no doubt that it did happen. But to say that it was genocide, then there would be no one coming here. We ain't even gonna talk about genocide. That's a whole different conversation. Because the uncovering that I have done on what's happening in the Middle East right now is gonna blow your mind. I literally will not be able to do that live. You will not be the same after what I've discovered. Right. So in that regard, I definitely want to make sure that we're clear. This was not okay. So we're not discrediting the fact that there were probably some unalignments. We're not going to do that. I'm glad that you're watching from South Africa. Please let us know, what is your feedback from over there? Y'all glad they gone? Listen, because I did a post on it, right? And some of you guys were like, we don't want them back. Let them go ahead. You haven't met Karen. Wait till you meet Karen. Some of you all were saying. I was literally like scrolling through. Don't send them back. We don't want them. They're y'all's now. No. Because see, they don't know. Over here, baby, listen. Okay, so the U.S. has also criticized South Africa for taking an aggressive position against Israel at the International Court of Justice. Cheryl said religious colonialism has led to more unaligned. Wait till you hear what I found out about what's going on in Gaza. It's going to wear you out. I need you to be ready. That's all I'm saying. I need you to be ready. Because, it was what we've always said it was about. And it's not just about land, but that's a different conversation, like I said. So the current group of white South African refugees comprises 49 people who are expected to land in Washington, D.C. later today. You already know, Angie T. Girl. And yes, there's still a whole African village that will not let blacks live on their own land. See, so, I mean, what these people supposed to do? You done tilled, you done fought, you done kept, listen, don't. And for some reason, it's not that I don't have any empathy. You cannot plant an apple seed and expect a watermelon. It does not happen that way. It does not. All right, so where was I before? We were talking about, okay, so 49 people will arrive in Dulles today, and then they'll go on to Texas, okay? So I'm not making any of this up. You can actually do the news, and you can also, research and find out for yourself. White South Africans make up 7.3% of the population. Imagine that. You make up less than 8% of the population, but y'all was running things like pure thugs and treating people like crap for generations. Okay. All right. Now, in January, the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, I hope I said that right, signed a controversial law which allows the government to seize privately owned land without compensation in certain circumstances when it is deemed equitable and in the public interest. Well, ain't that what they did before? Oh, okay. There had been anger in South Africa over the slow pace of land reform in the 3 decades since the end of the racist apartheid system. Let me put that in perspective. 3 decades. $30 years. And what we know is it was not a quick flip. 8,000 will come to America. Oh, okay. So President Trump's openness to accepting Afrikaner refugees comes as the U.S. has engaged in a wider crackdown on migrants and asylum seekers from other countries, which is mind-blowing. And if in any other sense of the word, now here's, and I hate to put this out here, and I'm not a race baiter, I promise you, but for the same people that are angry and upset on the other side of the spectrum, saying, oh, well, those illegals should get out of here. And I don't care if they're seeking asylum and so forth. I don't care if they got a student visa. I want y'all to have that same energy for these folks when they get here. I want you to have that same energy when they arrive. That's what I need y'all to have. Absolutely, Mr. Hardy. That is correct. And they did, Kathy. You are correct. They broke your laws. Have that same energy, ma'ams and sirs. Okay? I'm just saying, yes, they are. They are. Have that same energy. Since they're being given refugee status and they were fast tracked. From what I understand, one of the pieces that I read this morning, they were still waiting for one of them's background check to come, and they was boarding the plane. We like, what are we doing? Honestly. Yep. I got questions. You should have questions. You should be like, now, wait a minute now. Absolutely. Blue, that is why. There are people right here in this country. So the question that Blue has, for those of you all who are watching on other platforms, the question that Blue has is, so you think that is why Trump is letting them come? Absolutely. It's because they're white. It is because they're white. Absolutely. Standing in line to the show and let 1,000 people cut in line and try not to get angry. Like, for real. So what we need to understand is that it is about trying to make America white again, which it never has been. Correct, Nubian Buttercup. They are Boers, apartheid supporters, farmers who own 80% of the land in South Africa. Mm-hmm. Y'all ever heard Elon Musk's daddy talk about Michelle Obama? Disgusting. That's what he thinks about blacks, about African Americans, black folks, period. I don't have anything else to say. For those of you all who are new here, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the neighborhood. I'm Paulette. I am the owner and founder of brownstoneworldwide.com, Cityscape Radio, and Brownstone Living Magazine. If you want your free digital issue of Brownstone Living Magazine, you can go ahead above in the stand store. You can go ahead and get it, or you can always go over to brownstoneworldwide.com and grab your free digital copy. You can listen in to Cityscape Radio throughout your workday, listen to sounds you remember, and get your news and information that you can use either on social media or at brownstoneworldwide.com, and also hang out with me on Substack. You guessed it. Excuse me, at Paulette on the mic. Yep. Constance, same here. That's why when you come over here to this neighborhood, here's the issue. Oh, there's more. Y'all ready? I just got an alert. I got to go find it. Like, my phone is literally blowing up. Like, we're talking about it and the information is dropping. So I would like for America to just be America. And I want us to understand the way that they are keeping Americans divided is based upon hate and separatism and racism. Constance, so glad you could be here. Welcome to the neighborhood. I need y'all to understand that one part. That's how they are keeping us divided. And that is why, even in this situation that is currently happening with Afrikaners coming here, white Afrikaners are being brought to the US of A, the first of a few who have been fast-tracked as refugees. Listen, what they want is for us to continue to keep talking about it. So we are not talking about the things that matter. And what is that? Medicaid is being cut in our faces. How y'all feel about that? Right? They have just arrived. Mm-hmm. Yep. They have just arrived. The plane just touched down. Updated just a minute ago. I will keep you all posted when more information is available to me. You go ahead about your day. But yeah, so we're talking about the things, honestly, that have kept us in the spaces that we're in as a country. And here's the thing. Hey, Connie, how are you? Hey, Sweet Baker. Thank you so much, Tinkerbell. Listen, here's what I need you all to understand. For those of you all who are listening around the world, because now I know that you are, and thank you for being here. Pay attention to what is really happening. They want us at each other's necks. They want us to be so focused on what we're doing here locally between black and brown and red and yellow and blue and purple, and who's wearing the colorful flag and who's not, and who's transgender and all of these other things. They want us to be infighting amongst each other so much that we're missing the fact that they have an entire organization. We talked about this last week, called the executive branch. You can't get in this exclusive club unless you have $500,000 to kiss the ring of Donald Trump. I bet you didn't know about that. But they don't want you to know. Correct. That's what they want us to do, Posey Smosey. They want us to cause the separation between our differences ourselves. And guess what? That's what caused the issue that we are in. It wasn't that Kamala Harris couldn't run this country. It was because she was a woman of color and a woman. Period. And they ran on that. They ran on your hatred. They ran on separating people because of color and gender, all the while lying to you in your face and telling you that Project 2025 did not exist. Does it exist? Head on over to project2025.observer for yourself. Okay? Pay attention. And nobody is questioning it. You are correct. Nobody's questioning it. We just riding along, mad at each other, because now they have put into the ethers of social media Black fatigue. Just like they're talking about woke, and they don't even understand those two words. We absolutely did. There absolutely is. Y'all, let's go over here. Yes, Kamala. Shout out to Kamala Harris, who looked amazing at the Met Gala. Let's talk about that. Project 2025. .observer. Y'all ready? In order for you to find out how it's going, you can go over to Project 2025 yourself. Yep, Stephen Miller is the worst of them, who co-wrote Project 2025. And he is now in Trump's cabinet talking about pausing writ of habeas corpus. Do y'all even understand that that would literally take a physical act of Congress to do? Project 2025 was written by a group of right-wing Christian nationalists who believe that everybody should be living in the Handmaid's Tale. It is the weirdest thing. Yeah, so it's the Heritage Foundation, but basically it's the folks. If you've ever seen the Handmaid's Tale, it gives those vibes. So listen, a couple of things that we know. Sit down. One of the things that just got completed last week that is a part of Project 2025 is this. Department of Defense expel transgender people who are currently serving in the military. They did that when? On May 8th. They sure did. Let's go to the source. It's on page 103 on the actual document of Project 2025. But if you're not careful, you won't know it. Who will this impact? Over 1,000 current troops. Thank you so much from the UK. Yep, Vanessa, that is true. He was never a Trumper. I can remember speeches that he had. It was like, are you serious? Yep. But if we're not paying attention, this is what we're going to get. Mandate for Leadership, the Conservative Promise. That's the name of Project 2025, folks. You can literally download it yourself. It talks about how Project 2025 or the Heritage Foundation has been a part of U.S. government since the Reagan administration. And a lot of things that we thought Reagan came up with, they were telling him what to do. How do you find this out? Go and pull it yourself. They wanted J.D. Vance in position. He didn't even like Trump. What page is this on? Let me go ahead and pull it up. It was on page 103. Let me go ahead and look it up real quick. Here it is. I think it might be on page. Okay, so here's what we're going to do because we're going to waste a bunch of time me looking for it. I'll share this later on a video. But restore standards of lethality and excellence. Physical fitness requirements. Here it is. Restore standards of lethality and excellence. Entrance criteria for military service in specific occupational career fields should be based on the needs of those positions. Here it is, right here. Exceptions for individuals who are already predisposed to require medical attention. For example, HIV positive or suffering from gender dysphoria. Okay. Should be removed. That's on page 103 of Project 2025. Mandate for Excellence. Hey, CJ. Hey, Phyllis. Y'all need me to read it again? That was so specific, you couldn't hide from it. This is one of the ones that they wanted to make sure they got completed. So to date, there are 101 topics or subjects from Project 2025 of 313 that have been completed. Y'all think that this is about race? Let me go back to the preface of the document. So we are clear. These cabinet members that are part of the Heritage Foundation are so pleased. Matter of fact, they said they are surprised at how fast he's moving because he's asleep, y'all. That's what sundowners do. I said it. And I ain't wrong. Look it up. Poetry Schmoser, you know what I'm talking about. I guarantee you. That's why you can stay up all night long, because the body does not know what time of day it is. I gotta find it now. Just the whole thing about the man being the head of the household and nobody else, and doing the vote for the whole. It is literally. You must. I'm telling you now. Google it. Google This man. So the question came up just now. Kathy says Biden. No, this man was clear. Now, did he have some moments? I would say he did. However, I need you all to be very aware when you look up sundowning. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about, and you're gonna go, "Oh my God!" What are some of the symptoms of sundowning? The constant remaining awake because the body's clock is off. One of the other ones is grandeur, delusions of it, being delulu, like, right? So you constantly thinking so much money is being saved and millions of dollars are coming to the country, and people are saying ain't nothing changed, bruh. And mean, they've been there. If you read through the preface, you'll see that they've been there. Yep, correct, Posy Schmozy. Weird posture is also part of it. You better know it, Shima Linda. I hope I said that right. That's listen, we have had this for the neighbors that have been in the neighborhood for a minute. We literally had this conversation. It's been maybe a week ago. That's exactly why this dude is in position. I hope he know it. Why are we allowing Watson? Because ain't nobody gonna stop him. That's how. Nobody's gonna stop him. And they're being so slick about it. I bet you won't even know when they arrive. We just found out that the plane just landed. That was the breaking news I just got in Dulles. Exactly. We do not have enough people in position to stop them. We don't. And so because of that, we're having to sit back and just go, God, dog, we got to take, you know what I mean? And here's the thing. You're not going to tell me that certain people in Congress are not furious about what is happening. See, here's one thing. You could be Republican, you could be Democrat, you could be whatever. But to be wrong over right, it's a private charter, Tinkerbell, that our tax dollars are paying for. That's why I'm laughing, because this is not really happening. But we're also paying for golf trips, 22 golf trips since this man been back in office. It is a double standard. This man is, I literally feel like and here's the thing, they know what they're doing. The truth of the matter is everyone in that cabinet is fully aware of what they are doing. They are complicit and they are joyous in the evil that they are doing. $22, honey, CJ. Exactly, Tinkerbell. Everybody but us. Because you know what they're doing? They have us coming into social media groups like this and saying MAGA proud, and you broke and on Medicaid. They got you coming in groups and have you believing that you won. Ain't won nothing. Yep, he sure is. Because the leopard hasn't eaten your face yet, but it's coming, baby. Trust and believe. Exactly, Cruz B. That's what I'm saying. While we're sitting here and we are having these discussions about race and about good and bad and who's doing what and so forth, and we're talking about all of the things that don't matter, the problem is we're at each other's throats and they keep eating everything at the top and leaving everybody else at the bottoms talking about y'all lost, we won. And everybody looking stupid. The USA is, baby, not just the Democrats loving life. Get it right. Get it right. I'm for right. If the Republicans do something that is right, I'll shout you out. Period. And trust me, girl, go ahead. Okay. Oh, of course it is, Posy Schmozy, and I'm unbothered. Nobody won. Thank you. And that's what I keep trying to explain with just giving you all the information that's important. And it's not, let me be clear. It's not about hating America. I'll say it and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. Right's right and it don't wrong nobody. That's it. Do right because it is right. End of story, end of discussion. That's it. Exactly. I could care less about a political party. Are you doing what's right for the American people? Veterans should not have to worry about whether or not they're going to be able to see their therapist or their psychiatrist or get the help that they need. And they are, because those people were cut loose. No one should have to worry about whether or not their housing is getting ready to be cut, because what they fail to tell you, all of us that is listening to the sound of our voices, is Section 8 is really a program not set up for you to stay on, but the people that need it the most and use it the most are white Americans. And it's not because you lazy, it's because the companies that y'all swear need to come back to the United States and that are here are not providing you with a fucking livable wage. But we fighting amongst each other over black and white, when in reality, it is about rich and poor. But go ahead. Y'all won. Y'all won. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's why you on Section 8, honey. It's not because you lazy, because you get up and go to work every day. Yep. And what I just said was not for loving whatever her name is, because the block is hot, right? It's not about that. The truth of the matter is they literally have us sitting up in here having whole conversations about black fatigue. That don't even make sense to me. They're not paying you enough money. These companies are not coming back to the US of A. And the biggest reason why is because they don't think that they should pay you what you're worth to live in this expensive ass country. Now, let's talk about that. But nobody wants to have that conversation. Y'all really think they're getting ready to bring these jobs back here and pay y'all a livable wage? Just think about it. My daughter's best friend, 1-bedroom apartment, $2,400 a month. That's more than my mortgage. She's fresh out of college. Doesn't it sound that way to you? Exactly, Tinkerbell. She says, I'm not enough. I'm disabled, but not enough for government. Still living with your ex and MAGA because I can't live. Right. So you can't live on your own. How many grown folks you know got roommates? How many adult children do you know still living at home because they can't afford it on their own? Who won? Help me. Yoli said, me. Too many. So many. So many young people were sold this American dream, and then they get out here and everything is sky freaking high. Who won? Talk to me. You know why you thought you won? Because your racism is showing. That's why. You back living at home after divorce. Yep. Please say it again. Wait. 92 Twin says it's because they live in apartments built in the 70s that used to be 500, not at 15. Yes. It is psychological warfare to continue to keep us fighting amongst each other while those at the top continue to take. They're taking your education away from you. They're doing all the things that they can. And then when they're done, you're going to fall in line and still tell them that they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. And you still going to think you won. While they take and take and take and take. Yep, they're going to start garnishing your school loans now. I told y'all what to do. Remember that one time we had the whole thing about, student loans and so forth? Go apply for your IBR. They just turned the light back on. Remember that. Yep, and Tinkerbell said, and people that have the ability to move back home, you're privileged because not everyone can. We're sitting here having whole conversations about Black fatigue. Now, certain groups of people are here talking about, oh, I'm sick of Black folks. I'm tired of them being ghetto. I'm tired. I don't know no ghetto. Listen, I don't know no ghetto Black folks. How about that? Exactly, Cruise B. Also, billionaires don't have to pay tax. It's hard. I know it. 92 Twin. It's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. Total U.S. companies cannot make the money they made using cheap foreign labor. Exactly, which is why these companies are not coming back here. They're not coming back here. Not in mass like people think. Oh, it's wonderful. Watch. He's doing so and so forth and this, that, and the third. Well, when the tariffs literally... When the tariffs literally got dropped, we knew it was going to do something to the stock market. But how long is that going to last? I got questions. Yeah, they will. They're so excited, but they're excited for the wrong reasons. Look at the bigger picture. What is happening? And then they're only telling us so much. That's why I love World Talk and I love Globe Talk. And I love getting my news from other sources. And it's not going to happen, Alpha Maniac. Alpha Maniac says removing immigrants to push middle class back into. Let me tell you what's going to happen if we are not careful. All of those people that's currently locked up, go back to the 13th Amendment. But how can you put people under that regime or that rule under the 13th Amendment if they have not been given the 5th Amendment, which is what? Due process. So all of it is illegal. That's exactly what's going to happen, Roy. Thank you, 92 Twin. I just uninstalled my Clubhouse because, honey, I would be laid out in the floor. But Vanessa, that's not that. Honestly, here's the truth. That's not new. I see that all the time. When I drive home to go see my dad and I'm going through Louisiana, we see that all the time. Those are federal inmates who are forced to work under the 13th Amendment because they never got rid of slavery. They renamed it. As long as you are following the law, you won't be impacted. I did a whole piece on that, especially when we're talking about what happened in Newark. There's a company, a privately owned company, not a private because they are publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange, called GEO. Go look them up. They own this ICE immigration processing center or holding place with 1,000 beds in it. And I said I was going to share with you all who some of the folks are who own large pieces. Yes, Vanessa. So it's called GeoCorp. And y'all need to know this. GeoCorp is off the chain. Do y'all hear me? So they got this contract. Listen closely. This is when I start squirreling, but this is when it gets good. GeoCorp Right now, they're up 3.5%. $26.08 a share. They just reported their first quarter results. But here's what y'all need to know. The facility that the mayor of Newark was arrested in is a part of GeoCorp, and they're building more throughout the USA, right? What are they going to do with all of these people, especially now since Bukele from Venezuela said none of these people got due process? Exactly. So that's it, Grand Melee. The issue is, here's what y'all need to hear me on. If the 13th Amendment is alive and a part of the Constitution, all they got to do, whether they got due process or not, because clearly they're going to do what they want to do, they got to figure out a way to get these people back in the fields. What you think they're getting ready to do? You want to know one of their biggest investors? Their biggest investor is BlackRock. Did y'all know that? Yep. BlackRock. See, you got to follow the money. Yeah. Guess who else? Vanguard. How many of you all are employed and you're getting your 401k? You want to know one of the places that you're probably investing in and you don't even know it? Is GeoCorp. How many of you all, your 401k is through Fidelity? When I dug deep over the, Friday, when I did the little report, I thought, this is too much. I don't. Yes. Pose you suppose it, yes. Correct, Constance. Yes. Yep. Systematic chaos. You see how deep this rabbit hole goes? Wait until you find out why they got those folks in Gaza cornered. It has nothing to do with anything else except black gold. Think about what that is. Texas tea. And this goes back further. Correct, Carl. And this goes back further than this current administration. That's how come they ain't doing nothing about it. They want y'all to believe that it's a religious thing. No. Nope. I'm telling y'all, sometimes I sit down and I do the research and I just have to take a breath. Correct. It's just the conduit. It has not been abolished, Jay Willie. It's been given a new name. If we are not careful, Oji Schmozy, you are correct. Yep. And let's be clear, what's happening in overseas with the black gold, it would have occurred under another administration anyway, because it had been. Nobody was stopping it. Matter of fact, they was fueling it. See, I'm for right. Yep. So when we're talking about all of these things, yes, Keisha, you are correct. When we're talking about, yep, correct. Vanessa, say it again, girl. Yes. That's why it's so important for us to get in these rooms and sit at the table and have coffee and talk about these things, because they will have us believing that this is about who won or lost when we all losing. When our people that we voted in and are paying with our hard-earned tax dollars are literally taking us out to the trash, both Democrat, Republican, MAGAs, all the folks, left, right, all the things, everybody being taken out to the trash together. Exactly, Post. Listen, the many times I've seen him sleep and folks speaking for him, oh, absolutely, he sleep. He didn't even know what's going on half the time. How you think Mattel is a country? That is literally the most insane thing I have ever heard outside of I can see Russia from my house because you live in Alaska. I'm sure some of you all remember that. I remember I fell out of my chair when I heard her say that. It's just ridiculous. But we're arguing. Vanessa, you remember, here's the control. I agree with you. It's just y'all wild out here in these streets. I'm telling you. So when we're talking about GeoCore, when we're talking about these things, it's time to start asking some questions. That's why I always say it, you ain't won nothing. You ain't won nothing. They literally just completed another one of their detailed project objectives of Project 2025 on May 8th. And we sitting up here talking about who won. Because you really don't care about who won. It's really still about black versus white. I'm calling it like I see it. Because if you really had done your homework, to those of you all who have not, and you made a decision for everybody in this country, and as many times as this man said that he's rigged the election, I listen. He said it again. I was like, oh my God. So that's like the fourth time I've heard him say it. Okay, so Vanessa, currently they are at 42%. 42%. There's 313 total. 101 have been done. 64 are in progress. Yep. And it hasn't been 6 months. It hasn't been 6 months this man has been in office. But I guess they won. How many times does he have to say it? Because nobody's going to do anything. They heard him. They heard him the first time. They heard him the second time, and they heard him the third time, and they heard him the fourth time that he said it. They don't care. They're going to ride this horse until somebody knock them off, whatever that looks like. And by that time, whomever comes behind this, and according to him, if you vote me in, you'll never have to vote again. I love the uneducated. I love my uneducated voters. That's what he said about you. And that was before you voted for him. Or did you? Oh, no, absolutely not, Roy. Not at all. Yep. Right. If they were they'd be done, Tinkerbell. Right. So again, what I want to end with, because I do know that it's almost 2:00. Again, what I definitely want to say is I need us to remain informed. Remain informed. Listen, I'm going to say it again. Remain informed. Stay connected to people that are providing you with news and information that you can use on a regular basis. Continue to do your own research. Some people are not built for digging through this stuff all of the time. I am. And there are others. Under the Desk News, Aaron Parnas. You also have several others like Midas Touch and others that are out here. Don Lemon. We know now that Joy Reid has her own platform. All of these people, it's called Joy's House. Listen, go follow these people and get the information that you need. It's not about just bashing. You have to make comparable decisions because, baby, listen, 2026 will be here before you know it. And where will you stand to make sure that the right folks get in office? That's the question and the concern that you should be asking yourself at this moment. Because if he got his way, loving mom, there will never, this is it. He's it. There will be no more. We talking authoritarianism. We are talking about an oligarchy. Yeah. Okay, Sean said to go ahead and watch Democracy Now!, the Canadian TV, and the Dutch news. Something is happening in Switzerland right now. I can't wait to find out what that's about. We covered a lot today, y'all, and you know how I do. If you don't have your 6 list already ready, I got a new book. I don't like it. Sorry, we'll be getting another one. Do your 6 list for the day, y'all. 6 most important things to do for the day. Make one of those learning something different. Number 1, about the Constitution, and also about your rights as an American citizen. What does that look like? You need to be over at house.gov. It's another one. I forgot what it is right now, but I have all of them written down. Yep. It's your responsibility, not just your right, but it is your responsibility. That's how come he's been able to do the things that he's doing, because he based his whole campaign on hate. He did. You must know your rights. And I will. Yes, absolutely. The SAVE Act is definitely on my list. And if there's good news, absolutely, I will provide it. Yep. And I do too, loving mom. Absolutely. He won and ran on hate, and not just for him. He knew what would work. There's a whole PR team that worked behind him to make sure that that happened. And he ran on it. There's a guy that was a part of his PR team when he was a part of The Apprentice that said, we created him. He was a loser. He was already, his business was already in the tanker. We created him. The whole "you're fired" thing and all of that, they created that whole persona. Yep. So when people are constantly running this game on, I voted for the right side and he's great and he's this. No, even Candace Owens is like, wait a minute. You know something is up when she says, even though I'm sure she was being given a check. Okay. You know how we make our money? We go live. We talk. We share information. We charge for advertising. We get up and we do this day in and day out. Except for yesterday. I had to rest, y'all. My little arm. But anyway, so remember, do your 6 lists. Write down the 6 most important things that you have to do for the day. Mine's more like 9 so far. But, and then when you're done, start crossing those off, okay? If you don't finish your full list, go ahead and make that the top priority for your next day. Listen, 3 things. I got to go, y'all, because I got to cover more news and information just for you all. Listen, 3 things that I always like to tell everybody before we end every show. 1, love your life. Oh, Lord. Let's see. ELOAA Ministries. Big shout out to you. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. 1, love your life. Thank you so much for that. It's the only life that you have. 2, live your life to the fullest and embrace everything that is your life, because you only get one you. You might as well enjoy it. And lastly, what? Breathe through every single moment. Go ahead and join us over at brownstoneworldwide.com, Cityscape Radio, Brownstone Living Magazine, and follow me for journalistic commentary throughout the day on Substack at Paulette on the Mic. If you missed the full show, go ahead and check it out on Apple Podcasts in about 35 minutes, or you can check me out on Spotify as well. All right, you guys, the name of the show is called The Day Shift. I'm Paulette, and guess what? We out of here. We'll see you around.
Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Vernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are welcome in the essence. This broadcast, Brownstone, the light is contagious. But you need go on and receive it for yourself. Just open it, exuberant, evolution, exciting. We standing on the foundation of expression. You might have seen, you might have been, or you could have gravitated. Our foundation, we want to create a space for all to collaborate and be liberated from eventually all over the globe. And we are extending a hand to those who are an extension from maybe platforms, dig into another stratosphere. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Vernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. And that is MSG, the message in the message. I can OD on my execution of excellency. And this as a man right now, and things aren't created, but see true.